Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining me here for Conversations with Taz. So, as always, let's get right into it. And you know what? Everything has been so stressful. Let's start off with a little jokey joke, okay? And then we'll get into the nitty gritty and the meat and potatoes.
I'm back, and I'm guessing not much has changed in the world. Donald Trump is turning America into a kakistocracy, a country run by the worst, least qualified, or most unscrupulous citizens. It's a shame there's not a name for a place run by people who prefer those not of legal age. There is, the BBC. A banana stuck to a wall sold for $6.2 million. My banana is stuck to the inside of my leg for free. Ukraine is using Western weapons against Russia, which has some countries legitimately preparing for World War III. Feel like a lot of people would welcome nuclear Armageddon right now. Could be closer than you think. The doomsday fish just washed ashore in California. Wouldn't be the first time something I wanted turned out to be a dead fish. Peanut the squirrel was euthanized by the government. Things like funding the euthanizing of domesticated squirrels may be the reason the US national debt keeps rising. A toxic mystery chemical was found in millions of Americans' tap water. We know it's not irony. Americans get none of that. Congress heard more evidence of aliens and UAPs on Earth. Sorry, UAPs? Unidentified anomalous phenomena. It's replaced the term UFO. God, even the aliens are woke now. The more deadly strain of Mpox is now in the UK and the US. Making sure the name isn't racist really slowed it down. 25 were killed in a railway bomb in Pakistan, and 35 more were killed after a man drove into a crowd in China. Reminder that crazy is worldwide. Storm Bert is causing widespread disruption in the UK. I can see the headline now. Londoner loses umbrella. Whole country shuts down. And 40 monkeys have escaped a research facility in South Carolina. And this is all the plot to Planet of the Apes. I'll be in the hibernation station.
Well. Interesting. I don't know why I'm so dark today. We'll make it work. Coming from The Independent, Elon Musk is already targeting government workers by name as he recommends mass firings, because that worked out so well on Twitter. So well. Elon Musk is already identifying specific government employees with fake jobs as he recommends mass firings as co-chair of Donald Trump's newly created Department of Government Efficiency. The billionaire reshared a post last week that highlighted Ashley Thomas, a little-known director of climate diversification at the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation. The original poster shared a screenshot of Thomas's role, writing, and I quote, "I don't think the U.S. taxpayer should pay for the employment of a director of climate diversification, she, her, at the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation." So they have a problem that the pronouns we use every day, somebody's using. Okay. Musk captioned his reshared post, and I quote, "So many fake jobs." This is why I say money does not translate into intelligence. Because Musk is where he is because his father harvests emeralds. Does he not know how climate change would? You know what? Let's continue. Thomas's role is anything but fake. Her work involves finding innovations that serve the country's interests, an agency official told Wall Street Journal, including including bolstering infrastructure and agriculture against extreme weather events, which are on the rise due to the ongoing climate crisis. Thomas, 37, holds engineering, business, and water science degrees from Massachusetts Institute of Technology and University of Oxford, and I quote, "works for a federal agency that partners with private companies to finance ways to improve living standards in developing countries," end quote, according to the journal. Musk's remarks sparked a flurry of responses, with some defending Thomas while others mocked her. And I quote, "A tough way for Ashley Thomas to find out she's losing her job," end quote, one user posted, according to the journal. And I quote, "You have absolutely no idea what you are talking about and dangerously targeting a person who works an honest job to provide for their family," end quote, civil rights activist Michael Skolnick said. Absolutely. Just targeting someone because you do not understand what their job entails is ridiculous, but we're going to be in for more of this unnecessary targeting of people because you refuse to educate yourself. And the public now feels that they have a say in politics the wrong way. Because, yes, you should have a say in politics because, taxation without representation and all. But why are you only willing to stand up when you don't understand? When it benefits you, you want it taken away. But let's continue. An official with the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation told The Independent the agency, and I quote, does not comment on individual personnel positions or matters, end quote. Musk and Ramaswamy also penned an op ed for the Journal last week explaining their plan for the Department of Government Efficiency. I posted that over on TikTok. If you want to take a look, you can go over there and see. They claim their department will be guided by a pair of Supreme Court rulings that legal scholars have warned will turn the courts into weapons against federal regulations that right wing groups have spent years trying to undermine, The Independent previously reported. Translation: we can't continue insider trading, so we want this department so we can have an inside way to continue insider trading just for our personal benefit. And so that we can avoid prosecution in these court cases that are already pending against us. Musk's remarks sparked a fury of responses, with some defending Thomas while others mocked her. Okay, sorry. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about and dangerously targeting a person who works an honest job. Hold on, sorry. My screen refreshed. They claim their department will be sorry. Sorry. Quote, we are focused on delivering cost savings for taxpayers, they wrote. The skeptics questioned how much federal spending DOGE, DOGE, can tame through executive action alone. Nothing. Everything about the United States budget has to go through Congress per the Constitution. And these are supposed to be constitutionalists, traditionalists. Miss me. They point to the 1974 Impoundment Control Act, which stopped the president from ceasing expenditures authorized by Congress, they continue. Mr. Trump has previously suggested this statute is unconstitutional, and we believe the current Supreme Court will likely side with him on this question, and I wonder why. Musk and Ramaswamy appear utterly ignorant of federal laws that mandate clear and strict procedures for repealing regulations, administrative law expert and George Washington University professor Richard Pierce told the Washington Post on Sunday. They have no idea what they're doing. They sound like a gaggle of toddlers that are trying to tell their parents what they want to be when they grow up. It is like somebody who gets a position at a company and is there for 2 days and decides that they are the efficiency expert while they're still in the training phase. These are grown men who head companies, so that should tell you that money and networking got them their positions. Now, before we move on to more headlines, I want to show y'all a video because I'm quite tired. I'm quite tired of people falling for the okie doke online. So I want to show you a faux good Samaritan. And before you, Taz, you're reaching. Taz does not reach. Okay? Take a look.
There's this lady on here that shows people how they can make Dollar Tree meals to help people who are struggling financially. And I want her to know that her videos are helping people. Went to the dollar store tonight to get some canned vegetables. And this woman pulled up next to me whenever I was going in. And, you know, she was kind of driving a beat up car. And she had 3 little kids with her. Must have been about like under 8 years old, all 3 of them. And later on in the store, as I'm walking around, I walk past her on the same aisle and I see she has all the ingredients that that Dollar Tree meal lady has to make a Thanksgiving dinner. So I asked her about it, and she seemed kind of shocked that I knew, what she was doing. So, to not make her feel bad, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make it too. I'm struggling," because I didn't want her to like feel shame or anything. But the thing that caught my eye was she had the apple cider muffin mix for to make those like crumble cookie type things. But yeah, we ended up having a really good conversation, and she said that for Thanksgiving this year, she was just gonna do like frozen meals or something. But she said because of those videos that she's actually gonna be able to give her kids like a real Thanksgiving dinner, and her kids are excited for it. So yeah, the Dollar Tree meal lady is a wholesome creator, and I want her to know that her videos do help people because I saw a real life example of it.
Were your heartstrings pulled? Did you feel something? Did you feel like he did something good? Are you stupid? Are you easily manipulated? First of all, what's the likelihood that him and this woman pulled up together and they just happened upon the same aisle and he just had to throw in what her car looked like? And then he just strikes up a conversation and she just feels so comfortable that she unleashes everything onto this white man. How she's struggling. And he decided to tell her, I'm struggling too, for camaraderie. And she was going to give her children frozen dinners. If her children are accustomed to that and that's their family tradition, why would they be looking forward to something else? Why would they be expecting something else from her? And did he memorize this bigger creator? Because he's at over 100,000 K followers. So somebody who's a bigger creator than him, did he memorize? And why is he studying her cart if they only got together in one aisle? So she's coming down the aisle. I don't know about you when you shop, but I'm not studying somebody else's cart. I'm focused on my list, what I need to get. At most, I may notice something if we're standing, if they're in front of me in line and they put some stuff up and I start thinking like, oh, I, I should have got that. I could have made X, Y, and Z with that. Like, I'm not really thinking about what somebody else is making. Like, y'all really, people do this in order because he tagged the larger creator in this. And he's a, people do that to try to grab hold of the following of larger creators because they want that status. That is not a good Samaritan. Because if you're really willing to do something good for somebody, that's enough. You don't need to post about it. You don't. You don't. You absolutely don't. Because any good deed I do, the only reason you know about it is because somebody else decided to tell about it because that's now their business. And there's no need to lie in order to connect with somebody. Don't pretend to be struggling. That's not a connection. That's manipulation. That's you trying to make somebody comfortable so you can get the goods on them to gossip because that's what that was. And a lot of y'all fall for gossip because they wrap it in the packaging of the Good Samaritan. And y'all wonder why we don't trust white people. Because I was waiting for him to say that this was a black woman. Because if she was in a Dollar Tree and she's like, well, I was just going to get frozen dinner. First of all, today's frozen dinners that's going to fill up somebody ain't that cheap. Yes, there's still the 10 for 10s, but that's basically a side dish. Like a true person that's living in poverty knows how to stretch a dollar. That's why all of these videos about, well, I spent $400 at the grocery store and I just got this isn't from people who are truly poor. This is why when they're complaining about the prices of groceries, you see a bunch of convenience items or snack items and a bunch of soda and everything else. We know poor people buying the Kool-Aid packets, buying the Flavor Aid packets, buying the Country Time big buckets, buying the store brand buckets of fruit punch to mix with the water that they got at home. But you went into the Dollar Tree and looked at this woman's cart and knew that she was making a Dollar Tree. First of all, nobody that's poor needs somebody on the internet to teach them how to cook for the holidays or grocery shop. Let me say that. Let me say that. Because there's a lot of people that got it confused. When I talk about my daddy's views on stuff, my daddy's money is my daddy's money. I've been broke as an adult, a full-fledged, I've been broke. Because when the pandemic hit and everybody's like, I can't find groceries anywhere. Baby, I know how to bounce around. I know what places that aren't traditional grocery stores to buy groceries from because I've been there. Didn't nobody have to teach me online. That's not somebody who's truly broke. But y'all need to stop falling for the okie doke and everything else. Quit. But y'all love to fall for it because it's the holiday season and you want to believe the best in people, but you need to realize the worst of people do shit like this. Right. You know what, Arena, you're right. Dollar Tree doesn't have the cheapest for what it is. Mm. Because when you already know. You already know where you need to go. You already know how to stretch your dollar. You know who's giving baskets for the holidays. You know where you can get the fundamentals for your meal. Like, miss me with this shit. I really need people to stop because if you have to take to the internet to talk about helping somebody, you're not really helping them. Because I remember the day that I was having a hard time and I didn't want to tell my parents because I wanted to be grown and I didn't want to be that person because there was stigma around it at the time. And my mama and my granny came to me and they told me, hey, a couple times when you was growing up, Uncle such and such took care of y'all Christmas and all this other stuff. And I was like, what? Because they they did it out of the kindness of their heart. So they was hush hush about it. They didn't need to come out and puff their chest like, yeah, I did that. I did. No, no. They did it because that's what they wanted to do and they were able to do it. But on the flip side, I saw a video on TikTok late last night because I couldn't sleep. Y'all already know I got the insomnia, okay? And somebody said, y'all dating for help, I'm dating for head, we ain't the same. And baby, if that ain't the truth, that ain't the truth. Some of y'all are never going to find happiness because you're looking for an ATM instead of a partner. And you're fucking yourself up because you're getting pissed off when somebody can't be an ATM. Get mad at your mama, get mad at your daddy, but don't get mad at me. I said what I said and I stand on it. And then when you do decide to help somebody, you want all the credit for it. Are you doing it out of the kindness and goodness of your heart because you, first of all, you're able, and second of all, because you want to? Because when everybody was like, oh, Mr. Beast, why does that have to be his content? And then you found out what was going on behind the scenes and all the scandalous shit that was going on, and you wanted to be so shook. For why? For why? Because there are people who have followed me on multiple platforms that didn't realize until they saw with their own eyes what I generally do on Sundays. And they're like, why do you post about it? Why am I supposed to? Why am I supposed to embarrass these people for clicks, likes, and views? That's not why I do anything. But y'all was shocked that the person who makes their whole personality and their whole online presence about gaining control over people through money had control over people because of their okay. 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 Shocker. Shocker. Like, quit. What is your problem? What is your problem? Whoops. Light fell over. Your bad attitude is causing my lighting to be bad. I'm gonna need you to chill. I'm gonna need you to chill. Okay. What publication is this from? Uh, okay. Trump vows tariffs over immigration. What the numbers say about border crossings, drugs, and crime. This is from the Associated Press. In a in a Monday evening announcement, President-elect Donald Trump railed against Mexico and Canada, accusing them of allowing thousands of people to enter the United States, hitting a family hitting a familiar theme from the campaign trail. In his first term in office, Trump portrayed the country's borders as insecure and immigrants as contributing to crime and fentanyl crisis. In an announcement that could have stark repercussions, he threatened to impose 25% tariffs on everything coming into the country from those two countries. Y'all do realize, whoops, the vast majority of fentanyl that's causing the crisis is being transported in by citizens of the United States, natural born citizens of the United States. And the vast majority of fentanyl is being walked over. Let me repeat, walked over from the northern border, the most unsecure border that we have. More unsecure than our borders that are flanked by water. They're just walking over. In 2024 alone, I have reported on so many people who've worked at sheriff's offices being involved with the transport of illicit drugs and sex trafficking. Military personnel for the United States that have been involved in it. And then they're talking about, oh, but the cartels from Mexico come over here to get their guns and their drugs to take back. Mexico is pissed the fuck off at us because we are corrupting their country. Mexico has some of the strictest gun laws outside of Japan. They're coming over here to get the shit because they can't get it over there. Why do you think that we don't get global news? Everybody else gets our news. Yeah, this is why they're laughing at us. We don't get global news. And legacy mainstream media tries to hide this from you exponentially. I watched a segment where I watched Don Lemon act like he didn't understand racism, and a supreme uber Zionist act like only BB from Philly received an active warrant from the ICC. And he's like, well, what about Hamas? The leader of Hamas got a warrant too. Was there any correction made? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because why? Nobody's going to go up against a Zionist in this country. Because the moment you go up against a Zionist, whether it's a Christian Zionist or Jewish Zionist, you get called anti-Semitic. And the Jewish community that is not Zionist doesn't speak up and say, hey, this is a detriment to us and our cause. Not en masse. Are there outliers that do? Absolutely. No, Hamas has a new leader and they received an ICC warrant as well. Just like legacy media keeps perpetuating, yeah, it was a landslide win for Trump. 49%. 49% is what Trump got. There were tens of millions of Democratic voters that did not vote. They registered and did not vote. Trump took to Truth Social to say that he wanted a journalist who is retiring, who did not get the polling correct, that said that, oh, VP Harris is going to win in a landslide. He said that that was election fraud and that person should be investigated and prosecuted. The thing about it is, could you say that that was voter interference? Absolutely. But it was in your favor, Trump. You're too fucking stupid to realize that. It was in your favor. That polling gave people the ability to be like, oh, well, then I don't need to show up to the polls. And I really need people to get out of that fucking mindset. Because if you were a part of a basketball team, a baseball team, a football team, a hockey team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, just because your team is up before halftime, before the you gonna go back and take your shit off and decide to go home like, oh, we got it in the bag. No, I need y'all to stop acting like, oh, there's enough other people that are gonna do it that I don't need to do it, and then have the audacity to get pissed off when you did not engage in your rights, and then you get pissed off when your rights are taken away. You've already determined that you don't want that right. So them taking it away, you've already showed that you don't want it, you don't need it. So why should they keep giving it to you? And also, small caveat. People within the United States, I'm gonna need y'all to stop sitting around going, we need to be like the French. We'll never be like the French. And let me tell you why. First of all, the French know that they're racist as fuck. Everybody accepts that they're racist as fuck. But they've also agreed that everybody wants to be comfortable. So when you see this protest, what does everybody look like in the protest? Everybody has the complexion for protection. This is why they're able to get shit off. White ladies are willing to stand on the front line and they are willing to not wait for anybody else for them to cosplay. They put the shit together themselves. This is why the French keep getting what the fuck the French want. And what's not going to happen in the United States is white women standing up and making themselves the target. White women are not going to go against or lose their proximity to power. So stop bringing up that fucking talking point. Because that's all it is. Because when you see all of these videos, who the fuck is taking their shirts off, letting their titties fly, and writing all over themselves? White women. Who's on the front line? White women. Because they understand their privilege, because they accept their racism. And I'm not saying it makes them better, but it does make them fucking aware. They realize the power that they hold, and they're using their power to protect themselves. They know they're racist. They're like, shit, instead of sitting here battling with you and trolling you online and making your life miserable, I'm going to use my racism and my privilege to make shit better for myself. But dumb white bitches, and I mean it, dumb white bitches in the United States won't do that shit. You'll sit back and fucking suffer and troll the rest of us to try to get us to fight for you. Why would we fight for somebody who's consistently disrespecting us? Make that shit make sense, Becky Sue. Mary Lou who? Why the fuck would I make myself a target when I'm already your target? Bitch, I'm trying to dodge your fucking bullets. Why am I gonna dodge more? That's why y'all were pissed off that we said next couple years we out. That's why you pissed. You don't have anything left to cosplay. Stop fucking cosplay the bitches over in France. Y'all want to talk about them so much? Cosplay them bitches. Go out on the front lines. Organize yourself. Put together some boycotts and stick to it. Stop following the pretty, bouncy, glittery ball. Because they know how to get a white woman to get off the picket line. They know how to get a white woman to not protest properly. Because y'all will go buy some shit and then set fire to it or put it in the trash. Bitch, they already got your money. They don't give a fuck now. And if you're like, oh, I'm never going to go to this company again, just like with Starbucks. What did they, and my favorite color is pink. They told you bitches that they was putting out a basic fucking pink Starbucks Stanley cup. Y'all went out and sold them bitches out in less than 30 minutes. No pomp and circumstance. No, oh, you buy this, you get a free drink. Oh, it's got a cute design. It was just pink. It was. If they would have stuck a Botox coupon on that, it probably would have been 15 minutes before them bitches were sold the fuck out. Probably. But stop bringing up the talking about we should be more like the French. You don't want to be like the French because you don't want to admit that you have privilege and you don't want to admit that you're racist. You are more afraid of the title of racist than you are of racism and the racism that you perpetuate and the foundation of it that you spackle every single fucking day. Every single day. Because for you to properly invoke change and turn the dial and truly make this into a meritocracy that you keep claiming that's what we should be under, which we know is a bullshit talking point to try to keep everybody off their game and to give up on actually making the revolution finally televised. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You're comfortable where you are. You don't give a fuck that man is going to come home every day and rock your shit between the refrigerator and the stove. As long as you can say that you better than a black woman, that you better than a brown woman, you don't give a fuck. You miserable as fuck and you ain't never loved that man. but he's the sheriff, and that gives you some status in the little city that you're in. You don't give a fuck. Y'all both miserable. He cheating on you, you trying to cheat on him. Fuck that shit. And you think that that's your financial windfall when this man gives you a $25 a week allowance. And if you don't spend that $25, you can't even stack it up because he's like, oh, you didn't spend last week's allowance? Well, then you still got your $25 and he keeps it moving. If he was to die today, you don't know the passwords, where the account belongs to, nothing. You don't even know if he put your name on the shit to leave behind. And trust and believe, I know somebody that spent 20 years in with the man. His family didn't give a fuck. Wouldn't even let that woman take her own damn clothes out the house. And was proud about it. And bragged about it. That's that side to that trad wife bullshit. Oh, and a lot of you men, stop acting like you progressive, because you motherfuckers ain't. You're steeped in traditional values that ain't even real traditional values. They're Hollywood traditional values that they were just selling to y'all so that you would tune in and watch their movies and television shows. And a lot of people need to stop calling themselves conservative because ain't shit about your fucking life conservative. And a lot of y'all need to stop faking the funk in public. Y'all sitting here doing shit because you think it makes you look better. It don't matter if you sit at the bar and have your margarita or sit at the table and have your margarita. You're still having a fucking margarita. Where you sit don't make you no damn better. Excuse me. You need to stop. You're sucking and fucking and y'all ain't married. But you still want to toot your nose up on somebody. Because they a single what? Baby, please. Please stop. Please stop. Because a lot of you good Christian conservatives, I was a virgin when I got married. When you done took more shit up the ass or down your throat than a fucking toilet or a toothbrush and mouthwash. Y'all fight so hard to try to have a moral authority over somebody, including your partner, and there is not an ounce of morality in y'all. Y'all claim that y'all so holy and sanctified. Talking about the Lord called me, bitch, you called yourself. That call originated and was answered within the same house. The Lord didn't call you, because if the Lord called you, your ego wouldn't be leading you anywhere. Come on now. Y'all, the United States is so stuck on we're morally better. We're morally better. You're morally corrupt. This country was started on moral corruption, tyrannical religion. And it has not stopped being run by tyrannical faux religion. This is why prosperity preachers and megachurch preachers are the ones that are the pinnacle in whatever trying to be. You're supposed to study to show thyself approved unto God, not to chase the man in secular blessings. When people are like, oh, God bless me, I got this house. When did God say that your blessings were monetary? Because that money can't buy you shit. Who said that you were getting a mansion in heaven? Because when you get to the mythical heaven, you are to get a new body and no remembrance of anybody else on this earth. You are a new being, a new creature. Did nobody say shit about you getting something that's only substantial in the secular fucking world. But y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all just want moral superiority and financial superiority over the next person. This is why y'all are dating to look for, y'all out here in the dating world looking for ATMs instead of looking for actual partners. Y'all not trying to be equally yoked. Y'all trying to be somebody's sugar baby. Tell me I'm wrong. Y'all more worried about being flued out and being taken on this, that, and the other, and then worried. Why you riddled with STDs and STIs and everything else? Why you can't stay faithful? Because you're not really attracted to this person. You love how they love you, but you don't love them. You pissed off because they can't cash you out, but you cashing them out. Oh, okay. And some of you men, y'all think you bad bitches, but the only reason people want you is because they jealous of who you with right now, and they see themselves in his or her place, and how you looking at him or her or them. And baby, let me tell you, everybody don't love everybody the same. That love that person has for that person that you visualize, yet they ain't gonna love you that way. They don't love you like I love you. They don't love you like I love y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. As somebody who done seen it from all sides, you need to stop. Everything ain't for you. And the thing about it is, you may think that you built for it tough. You ain't. You ain't built for that person. And you realize why they was working as a team. Because somebody is extremely benevolent. And do you have that benevolence? Are you willing to dig in and deal with them when they ain't so pretty and shiny? I don't think so. Because you want the benefits, but not the work. You want the effect, but you don't want to know about the cause. Y'all need to quit calling yourself on the phone. Because some of y'all got multiple phones and be sitting there calling and texting yourselves. You be calling and texting yourself. Because if every time you turn around, you got to tell somebody this title, that title, or whatever, and can't nobody tell that you got that title from your words and your works, baby, you called yourself. You text yourself. You brought yourself into that calling. The call is definitely coming from inside the house. The text is definitely coming from inside the house, inside your pocket. You can get mad at me all the fuck you want. The truth is the truth. Let it set you free. Let it set you free. And y'all, with these challenges that you want to get into with your partners, where y'all are embarrassing each other or you are embarrassing your partner, let me say this and let me be very clear. It's not doing what you think it's doing. It is not doing what you think it's doing. You are not truly embarrassing your partner. You're exposing yourself. You're exposing your insecurities, because we know that you are really, truly afraid of losing this person, but you want to put them in a space so that they can feel that nobody except for you will want them and accept them. Baby, you just put a big billboard on them that they're the shit, that they are the best that ever did it. Because only insecure motherfuckers decide to talk shit about the person that they've publicly proclaimed to love, that they've married, that they've done all these other things for. While you think that you're denigrating your partner, you're not. You're showing how weak you are and how much you need that person. And in closing, if you are not able to be a cheerleader and sit on the sideline for somebody, if you feel that that makes you small, baby, you're already small and you'll never be big. I said what I said and I ain't taking shit back. But as always, thank you for joining me here for Conversations with Taz. Please share this with your friends. And next time you come back, bring a friend with you. I'll actually see you all on Thursday. Get your bellies full, do whatever you want to do, but I'll still be here. As always, each one teach one, each one preach one. Till next time. Yo.